Are you stuck calling yourself lazy when you can't focus? Stop right there. Here's a shocking stat from the year 2025. The average person now unlocks their phone 144 times per day. That's every 6 minutes you're awake. Here's the truth nobody tells you. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're definitely not the problem. Your attention is being stolen by billion-dollar companies, and I'm about to expose exactly how. Here's what happened to me last week, and I bet this sounds familiar. I sat down to work at 9 a.m. with a clear goal, finish my project proposal. I opened my laptop, cracked my knuckles, ready to crush it. 3 hours later, I looked up from my screen in shock. I'd done absolutely nothing productive. Zero. Just jumped between checking emails, scrolling Instagram, watching just one YouTube video that turned into 20, refreshing Twitter, and somehow ending up reading random Wikipedia articles about ancient Rome. All right, my first thought, I'm so damn lazy. What's wrong with me? But then something clicked. Wait a minute. Last weekend, I binge watched an entire Netflix series for 8 hours straight. Didn't move from my couch except for bathroom breaks. If I could focus on a TV show for 8 hours, how the hell am I lazy? The truth hit me like a freight train. I'm not lazy. I'm just distracted, and so are you. We've been programmed to blame ourselves. I have no willpower. I'm just not motivated. Maybe I'm just not cut out for success. But here's the reality check. Big tech companies employ teams of neuroscientists, behavioral psychologists, and addiction specialists. Their job? To make their apps as addictive as possible, Dr. Anna Lemke from Stanford calls this digital dopamine, and she warns it's rewiring our brains like never before. Every notification sound, every red dot, every just one more video algorithm uses what experts call variable reward schedules. As addiction researcher Nir Eyal puts it, variable rewards are the engine of compulsive smartphone use. It's the same psychological trick that makes slot machines addictive. You never know when you'll get that next hit of validation, so you keep checking. They make billions by stealing your focus and selling it to advertisers. You're not the customers, you're the product. So stop beating yourself up. You're fighting against billion-dollar companies that hire the smartest people in the world to distract you. But here's where it gets even worse. Let me paint you a picture of what your brain is dealing with every single day. Your brain evolved over millions of years. Our ancestors had to focus on one thing at a time, tracking an animal, gathering berries, watching for predators. Simple, clear focus. Fast forward to today. Wake up and immediately your brain gets bombarded. Your phone shows notifications from 12 different apps. Before you even brush your teeth, you're processing information from Instagram, WhatsApp, emails, news alerts, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Here's a mind-blowing fact. In 2025, the average person processes 5 times more information daily than someone in 1990. Your great-grandparents dealt with less information in a month than you processed before lunch. And this is just the first 10 minutes of your day. Now you check 5 more apps, scroll through hundreds of posts, switch between work tabs, jump on video calls, respond to messages, and wonder why you feel mentally exhausted by 10 a.m. Because that's not laziness, that's overstimulation on steroids. Your nervous system is completely fried. Your brain is doing what it's designed to do. Protect you. When there's too much input, it shuts down non-essential functions. It goes into survival mode. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to have a conversation in a room where 50 people are shouting different things at you. You'd shut down too. Your brain isn't weak. It's actually being incredibly smart by shutting down. And here's the trap. The more overwhelmed you get, the more you crave easy dopamine hits. Your brain says, I can't handle complex tasks right now. Give me something simple and rewarding. So you scroll, swipe, click, get tiny hits of dopamine. Repeat. This creates a vicious cycle. You feel overwhelmed, so you seek easy stimulation. The easy stimulation makes you more scattered. Being scattered makes you feel like a failure. Feeling like a failure makes you seek more easy stimulation. Round and round it goes. But I discovered something that complete breaks this cycle. Want to know the real secret behind how Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett actually work? Here's what nobody talks about. They don't multitask. They monotask like it's a religion. Multitasking is the biggest productivity lie ever sold. Your brain literally cannot do two cognitive tasks at the same time. What it does is task switch, rapidly jumping between tasks. And here's the kicker. Every time your brain switches tasks, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus. Every single switch. So when you're multitasking between writing an email, checking social media, and working on a presentation, your brain never fully engages with anything. You're stuck in this shallow, scattered state all day. That's why you feel exhausted after getting nothing done. Your brain worked incredibly hard. It just worked on the wrong things. Here's the game changer that transformed my life. One tab, one task, one goal. I started this experiment last month. Every morning, I'd pick my most important task. I'd close every tab except one. Turn my phone to airplane mode. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Then I'd tell myself, for the next 25 minutes, this task is the only thing that exists in the universe. The first few times were torture. My brain literally itched for distraction. It was like trying to meditate while someone was scratching a chalkboard. My mind would scream, check your phone! See if anyone messaged you. Just quickly check the news. But I pushed through. I sat with the discomfort, and something incredible happened around minute 10. My brain stopped fighting. It settled into the task. I entered what psychologists call flow state, that magical zone where time disappears and you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. The result, I got more high quality work done in those 25 focused minutes than I used to accomplish in 3 scattered hours. Here's my challenge for you right now. Pause this video and try monotasking for just 10 minutes. Pick one small task, close everything else, set a timer, see how it feels. I'll wait. Did you do it? If you did, drop a focused in the comments. If you didn't, that's okay, but notice the resistance. That resistance is proof of how distracted we've become. In a world that never stops talking, I discovered that silence became my secret weapon. You're not tired because you're lazy. You're tired because your mind literally has nowhere to rest. You think about it. When was the last time you experienced true silence? No music, no podcasts, no background TV, no notifications, no mental chatter from social media. For most people, the answer is never. We've become addicted to noise. We wake up to music, drive with podcasts, work with Spotify, exercise with playlists, and fall asleep to Netflix. But here's what neuroscience tells us. Your brain needs downtime to process information, consolidate memories, and recharge. Scientists call this your default mode network. It's like your brain's screensaver mode that actually does critical mental maintenance. When you're constantly consuming content, you never activate this network. Your brain never gets to rest, process, or restore itself. When do you plug your brain in? I started with a simple experiment. Every day at 2 p.m., I'd take a 10-minute silence break. No phone, no music, no talking. Just me in silence. The first time was brutal. My brain went into panic mode. We should be doing something. This is wasting time. Check your phone. Think about your problems, but I waited it out. I just breathed and listened to the silence. Around day 5, something shifted. In that silence, my mind started clearing. Ideas I'd been struggling with suddenly became obvious. Solutions to problems just appeared. My energy started coming back. This wasn't just relaxation. This was like defragmenting my brain's hard drive. I realized that silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. It's full of clarity. It's full of the real you underneath all the noise. Now I protect my silence time like it's worth $1 million. Because honestly, it is. Now let me share the exact system that changed everything for me, and it will work for you too. You do not need 8 hours of perfect focus. You do not need to become a monk. You just need strategic windows of deep focus. Here is my daily routine now, backed by Pomodoro technique research that shows focused intervals boost productivity by up to 300%. Morning window 9 to 10 a.m. phone on airplane mode. One important task, 45 minutes of pure focus. Afternoon window 2 to 3 p.m. After my silence break, another 45-minute focused session. Evening window 6 to 7 p.m. final push for the day. That is it. Just 2 to 3 focused windows per day. But here is the magic. Those windows are protected like Fort Knox. No exceptions. No just quickly checking anything. No, I will just respond to this one message. Within 2 weeks, I was getting more done than I used to accomplish in entire days. Within a month, people started asking me what changed. I seemed calmer, more confident, more productive. The scattered, anxious version of me was disappearing. The focused, intentional version was taking over. And here is something nobody talks about. When you prove to yourself that you can focus deeply, your self-respect skyrockets. You stop seeing yourself as lazy or broken. You start seeing yourself as someone who gets things done. That confidence bleeds into every area of your life. Let me tell you about the moment everything clicked for me. I was sitting in a coffee shop, watching people around me. Every single person was staring at their phone. Couples on dates, parents with their kids, friends hanging out. Everyone was more connected to their devices than to each other. It hit me like a lightning bolt. We've become digital zombies. But here's the thing. This isn't an accident. Social media companies hire teams of neuroscientists to make their platforms as addictive as possible. They use the same psychological triggers that make slot machines addictive. Variable reward schedules, fear of missing out, social validation loops, infinite scroll. Every time you check your phone, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. Not enough to satisfy you, just enough to make you want more. It's like digital cocaine. And just like any addiction, it gets worse over time. You need more and more stimulation to get the same satisfaction. But here's the breakthrough. Once you understand the game, you can stop playing by their rules. Let me expose 2 specific tricks apps use on you every day. Trick 1, the red badge of addiction, those little red notification badges. They're designed to create anxiety. Your brain sees them as unfinished business and can't rest until they're cleared. Trick 2, infinite scroll. There's no natural stopping point. Your brain never gets closure, so it keeps seeking just one more post. I started by deleting social media apps from my phone, not deactivating accounts, just removing the apps, so I had to consciously go to a browser to check them. Here's a micro action you can try today. Move your phone to another room when you work for just 30 minutes. That tiny barrier will shock you with how often you reach for it unconsciously. That tiny friction changed everything. Instead of mindlessly opening Instagram 50 times a day, I was checking it maybe twice and actually enjoying it more. Then I turned off all notifications except calls and text. Suddenly, my phone stopped controlling my attention. I started controlling when and how I used it. The result? My attention span started coming back. Tasks that used to feel impossible became manageable. I could read books again, have deep conversations, think original thoughts. I felt like I was waking up from a 10-year fog. Look, I used to be the guy who called himself lazy every single day. I'd set goals and never follow through. I'd start projects and never finish them. I felt like a failure. But none of that was true. I wasn't lazy. I was just fighting a rigged game with the wrong tools. These exact strategies, monotasking, focus time windows, digital detox, and strategic silence took me from scattered and overwhelmed to completing my biggest goals faster than ever. My productivity increased, but more importantly, my peace of mind returned. I stopped feeling anxious all the time. I started sleeping better. I felt like myself again. Here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just watch this video and move on. I'm challenging you to pick one strategy and commit to it publicly. Focus 25-minute windows. Silence E if you're trying 10-minute quiet breaks. Detox if you're moving your phone out of your workspace. Windows if you're creating protected focus time. I personally read every comment, and I'll be your accountability partner. Let's build a community of people taking their focus back. And here's your focus score challenge. Rate yourself 1 to 10 on how well you focused today. Drop your score in the comments. Let's see if we can collectively raise our focus scores this week. If you want my complete 30-day focus recovery blueprint, including the exact apps I deleted, my daily schedule template, and scripts for reprogramming your habits, that's all in my next video. Hit subscribe and the bell icon, because we're building something bigger than just productivity tips. We're building a movement of people who refuse to let their attention be stolen. Stop calling yourself lazy. Start calling yourself powerful, because that's exactly what you are.